Baba Ramdev has sparked a fresh controversy. He has now said that population will automatically come under check if the voting right of those who have more than 2 children is taken away and they aren't allowed to get government benefits. In fact, he went a step ahead and asked the centre to not allow people with more than 2 children to use government jobs, government schools, hospitals or even government employment. Listen into what Baba Ramdev suggested.
सबको ही 2 बच्चे पैदा करने चाहिए, इससे ज्यादा बच्चे पैदा करने की गुंजाइश नहीं रही अपने अभी। हाँ, 2 से ज्यादा जो बच्चे पैदा करे उसके वोटिंग राइट खत्म कर लो, उसको इलेक्शन में चुनाव लड़ने की अनुमति मत दो, उसको जो है सरकारी स्कूल में, सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में, उसको सरकारी स्कूल में एडमिशन मत दो, सरकारी हॉस्पिटल में उसका इलाज मत कराओ और सरकारी नौकरी मत दो। ये काम हो जाए तो जनसंख्या पर अपने आप नियंत्रण हो जाएगा, कोई पैदा करे से, वो हिंदू हो, मुसलमान हो, गरीब हो, अमीर हो।
Well, there is support pouring in for Baba Ramdev. Sadhvi Prachi supports his statement, demands law to curb rights of couples producing more than 2 children. Says this is even more important than the Ram Mandir issue.
बाबा जी का तो, स्वामी रामदेव जी का तो आ जा रहा है। हमने तो 10 साल पुराने समय से हम उठा रहे हैं। उस समय तो सब लोग कह रहे थे साध्वी जी क्यों चिल्ला रही है, कि हमने कहा था हर हिंदू के घर में जनसंख्या कम होती जा रही है, इस जनसंख्या पर प्रतिबंध लगना चाहिए। और आज मैं कहती हूँ, मंदिर बने या ना बने उससे जरूरी हिंदुस्तान के अंदर एक कानून है, एक कानून बनना चाहिए। और मोदी जी ये आप कर सकते हैं, चाहे 1 बच्चे का बनाइए, 2 बच्चों का बनाइए, वो सरकार के हाथ में है।
Well, Baba Ramdev is facing flack from the Muslim community over his remark on population control. Let's listen into a few reactions.
उनके कोई इच्छा से नहीं चलेगा। तो अगर वो कोई कानून चाहते हैं पास करवाना तो मोदी जी के पास जाए। पब्लिक में बयान देने से कोई फायदा नहीं। पब्लिक में देने का मतलब तो हुआ खाली वो चाहते हैं पब्लिसिटी। वो इस हैसियत में है कि मोदी जी जब चाहे मिल सकते हैं और मोदी जी उनका कहना मानेंगे भी, क्योंकि मोदी जी को उन्होंने प्रधानमंत्री बनवाया था। तो आप उनसे कहिए कि वो आप बजाय मीडिया वाले उनसे कहें कि साहब आप हमसे क्यों कह रहे हैं, आप जाइए मोदी जी के पास, तो उनसे कहिए ऑर्डिनेंस इशू करें।
I would request him that get some knowledgeable person and learn from them the demographic dividend which India has, which will last till 2030. May I request these Baba log who can stand upside down, who can teach the world how to breathe, who can tell us how to move stomach right, left, center, forward. May I request them, what about those wives who are not living with their husbands in Delhi? So let them learn. They are not knowledgeable. They might be expert, but please learn from people who have more knowledge than you.
To run his business and to gain some more mileage from the government and the fanatic forces, Ramdev is using such terms. There are many leaders today who are having more than 2 children. Should we stop them also? It's rubbish. Modi ji came with the concept of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. So speak in that toe line rather than creating rift and disunity and disharmony in the society.
Well, Baba Ramdev is suggesting ways and measures to curb population in the opposition feels there's a communal design behind all of this. Let's open this up and go across to our guests. We're joined by Sanju Verma, spokesperson of the BJP. We also have Manu Gaur, president of Bharat for Population Law. Ashutosh Mishra, senior journalist, joins us on the panel along with Mr. Ilyas Sharafuddin, Islamic scholar. A very good evening to all of you. Let me first go across to Ilyas Sharafuddin. Ilyas Sharafuddin, we heard in that reaction from Baba Ramdev while he was suggesting the ways or the measures to curb population, he also said irrespective of the religion. Now one can say that the suggestions that he is giving is practical or not practical. But why bring in religion into all of this? Why say there's a communal design or this is with some sort of a divisive agenda?
See, till now the BJP have came up with only divisive agendas. You take Ram Mandir issue, you take Gau Raksha issue, you take whatever it is. So anytime an ideologue of RSS comes up with an idea, fortunately and obviously we will feel that it is going to have a divisive effect on the society.
Talking about Baba Ramdev.
And Ramdev have promised earlier that when Yeah. That's what I am saying.
Yeah.
When he is coming up with an idea, he promised earlier that 40 rupees petrol will be there, 300 rupees gas will be there if Modi ji comes to power.
Here he is not
That has
promising
came to a
anything, sir.
disastrous end and
No,
things
Ilyas
have
Sharafuddin,
become
my
completely
question was
opposite.
completely different.
Now he is coming up with this idea, even this is going to be disastrous.
My point here is that he is not the one who is going to implement
That's
it.
what. Any idea which is come up with this crap mind will be going to be fall flat on the face.
Is population not a concern in India? Is the growing
And,
population
as per-
not a concern, sir? Shouldn't there be serious thought put to this as to how does the government now need to come up with ways and measures to stop or curb population? Is that not one of the biggest concerns that we actually have? Mr. Sharafuddin, that question is for you.
Okay, fine. See, look at China, how China have become world #1 now, how China's economy have boosted thanks to the Chinese population. If we too also follow the same footstep without corruption and with full dedication, there is no second thought that we can beat India, Europe and America very soon.
So very conveniently you are forgetting about the two-child policy or the one-child policy of China. No, then very conveniently you are forgetting about the two-child policy which later came down to the one-child policy of China. Don't forget
Chinese
don't forget that.
which was before one-child policy, they were the one responsible for the growth of China.
And what about post that policy?
Oh my God, Swati.
Now China is facing the labor shortage.
Mr. Sharafuddin,
China is outsourcing all
let
its
me
jobs
open this
throughout
up.
the world.
Okay, let me
Chinese
open
jobs
this
are
up and
coming
go
to
across to
India
our other
also.
guests also.
Because
Since your concern was that this was divisive agenda and you brought in the BJP and RSS and all sorts of organizations to counter your argument, let's take a response from Sanju Verma. Sanju Verma, go ahead.
Swati, I want to make one thing very clear. Mr. Sharafuddin, he said that it is because of the baby boom in China that the Chinese economy did so well. And you were very right to correct him, because let's not forget that the Chinese government actually tried in the 1970s and 80s to tell people don't have more than 2 children, but there was no mandate. It saw that people were not listening to this whole business about voluntarily agreeing not to reproduce beyond having 2 kids. It is then that the Chinese government came out with a diktat, only 1 child, and this was relaxed only in 2016. Now there are advantages and disadvantages. I agree with Mr. Asaduddin Owaisi when he says India enjoys a huge demographic dividend. We all know, Swati, that more than 60% of our population is 35 years or lower. And I was just reading some statistic before coming to your debate. I am told that 42 crore Indians are in the age group of 15 to 34. We are that young compared to a Germany or a Japan or a United States, what have you. But the problem is excess of everything.
Are you dismissing?
I am also told, and being
so then
an
are you
economist,
dismissing what Baba Ramdev is suggesting?
Swati, every month we add 10 lakh people to the age group of 18 years.
So that means you're dismissing what Baba Ramdev is saying.
The
question is, do you accept what Baba Ramdev is saying or not?
Insane logic. It is an insane argument. So what Baba Ramdev is saying is correct.
But I accepted what I said.
If what Baba Ramdev is saying is correct, then the argument of voluntarily agreeing to it does not stand anywhere.
Do we need population control methods? Of course. Do we need to incentivize
No, Sanju Verma, take a clear stand. No, take a clear stand. Do you agree with what Baba Ramdev has said or not?
Where more than 60% of the population is more
Sanju
than 45
Verma,
or 50
I'm
years
trying to
old.
have a debate here with you.
So I think that let us not try and be dogmatic about this.
I don't think Sanju Verma, you're ready to take questions on that. Let me go across to our other guests also. Ashutosh Mishra, we are yet to hear whether the government or Sanju Verma, the spokesperson of the BJP, agrees with Baba Ramdev or not, because there are there are contradictions in our argument. One, where she talks about voluntarily people agreeing to this, and two, that Baba Ramdev is correct.
I think the government is going to treat Baba Ramdev and the earlier 2 panelists with the contempt they deserve, because they are totally unaware of what's happening in India. In India, already the fertility rate is 2.3 children per woman. While the rate that is needed,
no contradiction.
For the fertility rate that is needed is 2.1. So we are already on track, things are working. 50% of India today lives in areas where the fertility rate is below the replacement rate.
Like Asaduddin Owaisi
Let us be very clear. Now, what happens is that people like Sanju Verma and Baba Ramdev,
why is because I'm sure you heard what Sadhvi Prachi had to say. No, why you are getting such counters is because I'm sure you heard what Sadhvi Prachi said. Sadhvi Prachi immediately jumped to the conclusion कि हिंदू के घर में कितने बच्चे पैदा हो रहे हैं, मुसलमानों के कितने घर में बच्चे पैदा हो रहे हैं, कोई पॉपुलेशन को लेकर के सीरियस डिबेट नहीं करना चाह रहा है. That's when you are getting this. You know, that's when you get this. और संजू वर्मा, कांग्रेस पार्टी का जो नारा है, वो मुझे आपको याद दिलाने की जरूरत नहीं है. Let me also go across to Manu Gaur. 1 second. Let me also go across to Mr. Gaur. Mr. Gaur, you know, this is exactly what happens whenever there is a debate on population. या तो उसको कोई religious या communal color देने की कोशिश हो जाती है, like what we just heard from Sadhvi Prachi कि हिंदू के घर में इतने बच्चे हो रहे हैं, मुसलमानों के घर में इतने बच्चे हो रहे हैं. But what we are forgetting here, it's very important to highlight, is that, you know, the BJP MP, Mr. Patel, he had actually brought in this bill in the parliament. He did propose that the government should go ahead with the two-child policy, and 125 BJP MPs signed a petition and sent it to the president. Mr. Gaur.
स्वाति, हुआ क्या था कि सबसे पहले आप ये देखिए कि 1952 में प्राइम मिनिस्टर हमारे थे JL नेहरू, जब इंडिया ने दुनिया में पहला फैमिली प्लानिंग प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट किया. 74 में इंदिरा गांधी थी जब स्टरलाइजेशन प्रोग्राम स्टार्ट हुआ. 2000 में हमारी नेशनल पॉपुलेशन पॉलिसी बनी. और अगर ये दो प्राइम मिनिस्टर कांग्रेस के थे और एक प्राइम मिनिस्टर बीजेपी के थे, लेकिन इसका मतलब ये मुद्दा अपार्ट फ्रॉम पॉलिटिकल एजेंडाज है. ये इस मुद्दे को लेके हमारे पास प्राइम मिनिस्टर्स, पूरा देश सीरियस रहा है, लेकिन अनफॉर्चुनेटली इसे रिलीजियस एंगल दिया जाता. पिछले कुछ समय से 1974 के बाद से रिलीजियस एंगल दिया जाने लगा है, वो सिर्फ पॉलिटिकल एजेंडे की वजह से. लेकिन रियलिटी क्या है, आज तक 35 MPs ने, मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्स ने प्राइवेट मेंबर बिल फाइल किए हैं. उनमें से 15 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट्स जो हैं वो कांग्रेस पार्टी के हैं, 8 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट बीजेपी के हैं, और भी अलग अलग पार्टीज के हैं. तो ये एजेंडा क्या है? हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन बोलता है कि आर्टिकल 21 में राइट टू लाइफ की बात करते हैं. राइट टू लाइफ में हमें पीने के लिए, हमारा जिंदा रहना, हमारा एग्जिस्टेंस किस चीज़ पे डिपेंड करता है. हमारे सांस लेने पर, पानी पीने पर, हमें पानी चाहिए पीने के लिए, और खाने के लिए शुद्ध भोजन चाहिए. ये तीनों चीजें जो जिंदा रहने के लिए जरूरी हैं, ये पॉल्यूटेड हो चुकी हैं.
ठीक है. You know, Ashutosh Mishra also wants to come in, but before I go across to him, I am given to understand that we have the clarification of Baba Ramdev coming in. Baba Ramdev has issued a clarification for his comment, saying that it is essential to take stock of the population. ज़रूरत है कुछ मेजर्स की पॉपुलेशन को कंट्रोल करने की. इंडिया विल नॉट बी एबल टू सस्टेन आफ्टर 50 years if we don't control population. Nothing to do with religion, says Baba Ramdev. Listen in.
देश की राजनीति के सेंट्रल इशू पॉपुलेशन कैसे कंट्रोल करें, एग्रीकल्चर में ग्रोथ कैसे करें, हेल्थ एजुकेशन सिस्टम को ज़्यादा प्रोडक्टिव कैसे बनाएं, इसके ऊपर देश की राजनीति केंद्रित हो. आज तू मैं पर, एक दूसरे के ऊपर छीटाकसी के ऊपर बहुत ओछे स्तर पर लोग उतर आए हैं. यह राष्ट्र के लिए शुभ नहीं है. और इसीलिए मैंने कहा था कि जनसंख्या नियंत्रण यदि नहीं हुआ तो आने वाला हमारा भारत का भविष्य अंधकार में होगा. यदि आज हम नहीं संभले तो भारत की आबादी 250 से 300 करोड़ होगी. उस आबादी को संभालने के लिए भारत तैयार नहीं है. आज हमने नहीं सोचा तो 50, 60, 70 सालों के बाद का भारत बहुत भयावह होगा.
Mr. Sharafuddin, I hope you heard that Baba Ramdev's clarification coming in, that it has nothing to do with religion. If he's saying that it should be for everybody, irrespective of which religion do they belong to, then why do you still feel that there's a divisive agenda to all of this?
Exactly.
देखिए, जाकर प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी जापान में नारा दिए थे, इंडिया इज फेमस फॉर डेमोग्राफी एंड ज्योग्राफी. तो हमको ये पता चल गया कि डेमोग्राफी है तो इंडिया पावरफुल बनेगा. प्राइम मिनिस्टर भी मान लिए. मुकेश अंबानी जाकर बोले यूरोप में डेवोस के अंदर कि इंडिया यूरोप से आगे निकलेगा क्योंकि यूरोप की एजिंग पॉपुलेशन हो गई और हमारी यंग पॉपुलेशन है।
आप चाइना नरेंद्र मोदी, the topic is not about Mukesh Ambani.
चाइना के पास
Swati, please get me on the monitor.
Okay, one second. At least let him finish. I'm not able to hear what he's saying because you're interrupting. One second. Ilyas Sharafuddin, I'm asking you about the religious angle. Ilyas Sharafuddin, I'm asking you about the religious angle. If you can respond to that, please go ahead. Or else I'll have to go across to some other panelists.
Still, we have poverty and unemployment.
No, that is for Mr. Sharafuddin. Please, one second.
Who are narrow-minded sectarian.
One second, Sanju Verma. I will come to you for a rebuttal. Please don't interrupt.
Is not good for a developing or a developed economy. And if we need to grow at 8% or 10%, we have to find measures to control population.
All right.
And if you want to bring religion into it,
let me go across to Mr. Mishra. He earlier was making a point. No, let me go across to Mr. Mishra. He was trying to finish a point. Mr. Mishra, my issue here is that population is definitely a serious concern, is a serious issue, and everybody needs to debate on it sensibly and come to a conclusion as to what are the measures that are required to curb it instead of giving religious color to it.
Swati, if you had listened to what I was saying, this debate is a useless debate, because in India today the fertility rate is 2.3 per woman. The minimum rate that is needed to replace the replacement fertility rate is 2.1. 50% of India population today is in areas where the fertility rate is below 2.1. It's even better than Europe and US, where there is a danger of having an aging population.
So you're saying we don't need any such measures. So let's continue with okay, you're saying let's continue with the status quo. We don't need any measures.
The measures are needed, but the problem is with the Baba. No, the measures are already taking place, taking effect. That's why the fertility rate has fallen to 2.3. And
so if the measures are already in place, and if the measures are already working, if the measures are already working, then why? How is it that the blame then goes on the government? I think everybody is very confused when it comes to the debate of population, because there are some people who try to infuse the religious angle into all of it. On that note, I'm thanking all the guests here. बहुत शुक्रिया आपका इस बहस में जुड़ने के लिए, लेकिन आगे भी इस मुद्दे पर प्राइम टाइम में हम बहस करेंगे. फिलहाल रुक रहे हैं एक ब्रेक के लिए. Forgery case haunts Odisha Congress chief. The economic offences wing of the Delhi police has summoned Odisha Congress committee president Niranjan Patnaik and his son Navjyoti Patnaik in a case of forgery. That's the big breaking news coming in. We'll try and connect with our reporters for more details. In fact, Priyank joins us now. Priyank, trouble mounts for the Congress committee president and his son.
Yeah, certainly, the case is related to 2007 and 8 when case Ahluwalia, a local businessman, had given a complaint of forgery of 34 crores against a couple who were living in the national capital at that particular time period. While probing this case, the couple had revealed the name of the duo, which include Mr. Patnaik and his son. And on the basis of this information, which was recovered by the Delhi Police POW team, they have given a summon to Odisha Congress Committee President, Mr. Patnaik and his son, to join the probe. They are expected to join the probe within 5 days. What we are expecting that tomorrow they can be questioned by the economic offence wing of Delhi Police.
All right, Priyank, thank you for joining us with those details. Moving on, one of the biggest names in the banking sector has been named in an FIR by the CBI. The investigating agency today booked former ICICI Bank CEO and MD Chanda Kochar, her husband Deepak Kochar and Videocon Group MD Venu Gopal Dhoot in connection with alleged cheating and irregularities in loans sanctioned by the bank to the group in 2012. Times Now has accessed a copy of the FIR against the Kochars. And as part of the crackdown, the CBI in fact also conducted raids at several places, multiple locations, including the offices of Videocon Group in Mumbai and Aurangabad, offices of New Power Renewables earlier today. And here is a report.
Well, right now I'm reporting from Videocon headquarters in Mumbai. Right behind these doors, CBI raids are going on today. So in the month of March 2018, CBI has registered first PE in this entire case of loan commission. So this case goes back to the year 2008 and 12 when 64 crore rupees were given to coachers. The allegations are 64 crore rupees were given by Dhoots to coachers from the year 2008 to 2012, and two companies were floated for that. One is NU Renewables and the second is Supreme Energy. So looking into this entire allegation, CBI has conducted raids today, and CBI has also registered FIR in this entire matter. Now we've been given to understand that in Mumbai, in Maharashtra, raids are going on at 4 places, the offices and residences of Dhoots and coachers, along with Supreme Energy office in Aurangabad. With video journalist Sanjay Ranjit Siddhant Mishra in Mumbai for Times Now.
Following an FIR that has been registered in this case, now we are getting to understand from the sources in CBI that the raids are underway at various locations in Mumbai, and we are in one such location in BKC where the New Power Renewables company in fact is located on the 4th floor. And since morning there are 4 to 5 CBI officials who have reached here, and they are at this point of time conducting raids, is what we are getting to know from sources. Of course, there are visuals to prove that, but at the same time there are also 3 to 4 other locations in Mumbai that includes the Videocon office as well as the office of Supreme Power, which has been raided by the CBI. Apart from this, in Aurangabad as well, the Videocon's office has been raided. So a series of raids that are underway by the CBI following the FIR that has been registered, and it seems this will continue till late evening today. But this comes as a major setback for the coachers and Venugopal Dhoot, who is also said to be present in Mumbai while this raid is being conducted. And politics over the issue has already begun. Samajwadi Party leader Juhi Singh has claimed that central government agencies are being misused.
As per media information, some raids are being carried out by the Enforcement Directorate in relation to the riverfront, and also some raids are being carried by the CBI in relation to the ICICI scam. So these are agencies who should do their work transparently, effectively. We've always said that central government agencies are misused by the central government. It was done in the UPA regime, it's being done now. So we'll see how and what turns out and what is the result of this.
Moving on, days after they were suspended for their misogynist remarks on a popular chat show, the BCCI today lifted the suspension on Hardik Pandya and KL Rahul. The board has now allowed them to play once again. Activists have slammed the BCCI for letting the cricket duo off so easily. The two had objectified women on the chat show, and in fact, when Pandya apologized, head of the COA, Vinod Rai, had called the apology not enough. Let me go across to my colleague Arunil now for more details. Arunil, we know the COA has decided to lift the suspension on Hardik Pandya and KL Rahul, but the activists are not happy with that decision, and they are also questioning that when Mr. Vinod Rai himself felt that the apology was not enough, why lift the suspension?
Well, Swati, yes, there are polarized opinions on this. On the one side, there are activists who are saying that both the players who made derogatory and demeaning remarks against women have been let off easily, but there are former cricketers and some legendary cricketers like Rahul Dravid and Saurabh Ganguly as well. They felt that both the players had to play again, considering that the World Cup is around the corner. It is only 3 months away, and India has very little time to find the right combination. In fact, India really doesn't have an alternative to Hardik Pandya, who's a pace bowling all-rounder, and whatever alternatives were tried, they couldn't perform or they couldn't step up to the mark. So there are only 2 series before the World Cup, this present series in New Zealand and 1 home series in Australia. So there is very little time. There is no doubt that both these players made derogatory remarks, and we get to know that.
Well, yes, absolutely. But then people are also of the view that till the ombudsman is appointed, it might take very long. So why bench them for such a long time? This will have an impact on their career. Arunil, stay with us. We have a reaction also coming in from Karan Johar. In fact, जिनके show पर ये बातें हुई थी. Listen to what he's saying.
I feel very responsible because it was my show, it was my platform. I invited them as guests, and so the ramifications and repercussions of the show are my responsibility. I've had so many sleepless nights just wondering about like how I can undo this damage, who's going to listen to me if I, you know, if I even go in, it's now gone into a zone that is beyond my control.
That's true.
I have to say, and I don't defend myself when I say this, I have to say that the questions I asked the two boys are questions I ask everyone, including women. You know, there are women, the Deepika and Alia were on the show, I asked them those questions.
Exactly.
I've asked them. I have no, as I said, I have no control about the answers that come my way. And post the show, I have a control room of about 16 to 17 girls. I have a show, Coffee with Karan, is run entirely by women. I'm the only man there. None of them
had an issue
came up. Some thought, oh, he was wild, he was crazy, he's cracked, he's mad. They said funny things. They said he was funny. No one came and told me, Karan, this was inappropriate. Maybe we should reflect on it. And as a result, I have to admit, I didn't think that what was happening.
In hindsight?
I regret what's happened to them. Yes, if you ask me that this is whatever happened to them, and then there was talk about me actually enjoying the TRP. I don't care about the TRPs. This is a spin-off of my career. It's not my career, but it's theirs.
Well, Arunil continues to be with us. Arunil, this decision has sparked off a debate where some feel that, continuing the ban on them would have been too harsh a punishment. The others feel कि ये बहुत कम है. This will not send out a strong message.
Well, Swati, firstly, if you listen to Karan Johar, nowhere he is apologized for the statement. He said that, in fact, a lot of people told me that it wasn't that wrong, bad as well. But if you look at the comments, they were very demeaning. And when I spoke to the father of Hardik Pandya as well, he said that considering the nature of the show, Hardik may have got carried away, which might be true. So a lot of people have been asking this question as well, like why action has been taken against these two players, which is right, but why no action has been taken against Karan Johar or the show till now? That's what a question also arises.
Well, he was trying to defend himself by saying that those are the questions that he asks everybody, irrespective of whether there's a male celebrity in the show or a female celebrity. Arunil, thank you for joining us with those details. We're taking a very short break here on this broadcast. Stay with us.